I'm Jason Carter. Physical optimization defines my life. The day I was born, doctors nearly killed me with medical malpractice. They said I'd never walk. I've been proving them wrong for 35 years. It's easier than you think to obtain super optimal health. I've devoted my life to it, and with my help, you can too. I'm Jason Carter, and this is ENZYMENTAL. And welcome to ENZYMENTAL. I'm Jason Carter, and today I wanted to tell you about the ketogenic ratio. A diet's ketogenicity refers to its ability to induce ketogenesis, or the production of ketones in the body, and therefore elevate blood ketone levels. So, to understand ketogenicity, scientists have developed an equation known as the ketogenic ratio. And that equation is this. The ketogenic ratio equals ketogenic factors divided by anti-ketogenic factors. So ketogenic factors are foods that contribute to the body's ability to induce ketosis, while anti-ketogenic factors oppose it. An example of a ketogenic factor is MCT oil, which we've discussed, which, as we know, is digested rapidly, contributing to the production of ketones. Bread would be an anti-ketogenic factor since it's primarily carbohydrates, which, as we know, raise blood glucose and insulin and thus prevent the production of ketones. Fats tend to be ketogenic, while carbohydrates serve as anti-ketogenic factors. Protein is sometimes problematic since it's both ketogenic and anti-ketogenic. Some amino acids found in protein, like leucine and lysine, can be ketogenic, while other amino acids, like alanine, are anti-ketogenic. For the sake of the ketogenic ratio, protein and carbohydrates are classified as anti-ketogenic factors, and fat is the ketogenic factor. Therefore, we can say that the ketogenic ratio equals grams of fat divided by grams of protein plus grams of carbohydrates. A 3-to-1 ratio means that there are 3 grams of fat for every 1 gram of protein and carbs. So if a snack contains 21 grams of fat and 7 grams of carbohydrates and protein combined, it would have a 3-to-1 ratio. As another example, let's say that you took an egg, which has around 6 grams of protein and 5 grams of fat, and cooked it in 7 grams of coconut oil. You would be consuming roughly 12 grams of fat, 6 grams of protein, and 0 grams of carbohydrates, which would give you a 2-to-1 ratio. Most people tend to eat a more modified ratio of around 2-to-1 with 2 grams of fat, which is ketogenic, for every 1 gram of protein and carbohydrates, which of course are anti-ketogenic. This ratio falls more in line with a 75 to 80% fat, 15 to 20% protein, and 5% carbohydrate-based diet. Regarding things like epilepsy, a 4-to-1 ratio is commonly prescribed. In this case, nearly 90% of the diet is fat and 10% is a combination of protein and carbs. This equation has a basic clinical application because it provides a foundation to start with and build from. However, this method also has its limitations. For one, it assumes that protein is completely anti-ketogenic, and it also takes only macronutrient percentages into consideration rather than total calories, so in this way it's very limiting. Research shows that this method truly predicts ketogenicity only when an individual is in calorie balance, meaning that calories consumed equal calories expended. Being keto-adapted increases fat utilization, so this equation doesn't really take into account the stored body fat being burned. This is why a person may be at a 2-to-1 ratio, or even a 1-to-1 ratio, and yet still be in a state of ketosis. Also, the ketogenic ratio doesn't take into account the fact that not all carbohydrates affect the body in the same way. Green vegetables, which could be classified as fibrous carbohydrates, may be ketogenic, while pasta, a non-fibrous carbohydrate, is clearly not. Because most vegetables, which again you can think of as fibrous carbohydrates, don't have glucose or insulin response and are not completely digested, they don't inhibit ketogenesis like sugar or sugary foods do. So while the ketogenic ratio is nice as a base guideline, you still have to account for other factors like total calories consumed, sources of fat, carbohydrate and protein, activity level, and meal frequency when designing the approach that best fits your lifestyle. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Carter, and I'll see you next time on ENZYMENTAL. Stay healthy.